What's up, everybody? It's your boy Chaos, so welcome to a new episode of Take It to the Table. We have a jam-packed episode for you today. We got numerous subjects to get into. Of course, we are going to be talking about Smackdown. I'm going to give my thoughts on the show and obviously some main highlights of what's happened on the show. Also, we're going to be talking about certain news articles that has been hitting the wrestling world, such as Daniel Bryan may be debuting at All Out at September 5th. I know in my previous episode I said September 4th when I was talking about CM Punk, but I got my dates wrong. It's actually September 5th. We're also going to be talking about Awesome Kong officially retiring after announcing her retirement at NWA EmPowerr. We're going to be talking about Brawn Strowman and where he may be returning. Also, we're going to be talking about Jim Ross reportedly transitioning from his full-time role in the commentator's box at AEW. Okay? So, but without further ado, let's take it to the table. Yes, sir. So as I said at the top of this video, there has been talks about Daniel Bryan eventually making his debut at AEW. Of course, CM Punk and last week's Dynamite pretty much laid the biggest of hints of the pending debut of Daniel Bryan. Bryan Danielson, that's his real name. Okay, so yeah, he's not gonna. I doubt he's gonna be called Daniel Bryan, and if he does debut in AEW, but the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson, whatever it may be, there is talks about him actually debuting at All Out on September 5th. Now, there's been numerous reports that he's already put pen to paper already. There was also rumors that he was meant to be debuting at the AEW event in New York City, which is their Grand Slam edition on September 22nd, but looks like they ain't going to be waiting any further now. So basically, according to Cassidy Hayes of Body Slam, he basically said that the decision to push Bryan's debut up reportedly made after internal concern continued to grow over the spike in the COVID-19 cases across the country, especially with the mandates and restrictions in New York City. So Bryan has reportedly asked for less dates and comparable money to what WWE was offering him to resign there, and also the ability to wrestle in Japan. Now, obviously AEW has got a great relationship, a decent relationship, so to speak, with New Japan. You've had numerous people go over there. You've had John Moxley represent New Japan and also in the Western area and in New Japan Strong, and yeah, so yeah, I can think of great matches that Daniel Bryan could have, and that is it just makes sense. So of course Bryan has been away from the ring since losing against Roman Reigns on it was a career versus title match on SmackDown on April 30th of SmackDown, and of course his contract was reportedly expired at that time. And while at one point he was expected to remain with the WWE in some capacity, he is now pretty much set a debut in AEW. So there's no word of what he's going to be possibly doing if he does debut at All Out. Is he going to go face to face with CM Punk? Is he going to be, going face to face with Kenny Omega? I don't know. But either way, AEW has got true momentum. The sky is the limit for AEW. I'm a realist when it comes to this stuff. I'm not an AEW fanboy. You just gotta be honest with yourself. That they have momentum. They pretty much took over the wrestling world last week, just 24 hours prior to SummerSlam, and it's just going great for them. Let's just see what happens with them. So of course we'll keep an eye out. Obviously, if he does debut. If he doesn't, I'm pretty sure it's going to be still a great card. It's stacked to the rim of great matches. So yeah, we'll just see what happens with that. So right now it's just a rumor, but don't be surprised if he does debut at AEW All Out. So SmackDown was this last Friday, and overall it was a good show. It was a very good show. There was great storytelling. A few clunky moments, which we will get into shortly, but yeah, it was a decent show for post SummerSlam. Quite a few, noticeable name wasn't there, which was quite disappointing. But yeah, let's just get into it. So, of course, the show opened with the man, Becky Lynch. She's just come back from being away from the ring for over a year. and she obviously beat Bianca Belair in shocking fashion, I must say, in pretty much 26 seconds. And now she's now the SmackDown Women's Champion. Came out saying that she missed the guys, missed everyone. If you thought that she was dangerous before, now that she has a family, you have no idea how dangerous she can be. Still riding the lines between, because there's obviously reports that they're going to portray Becky Lynch as now the top heel. But she was still riding the lines between a babyface, and a couple of words were hinting of a little bit of a heel. And then Bianca Belair came out saying, you know what, let's run it back. I gave you that challenge to face me at SummerSlam. The least you could do is obviously face me. I want my rematch back. And then Carmella came out saying it was Vega that came out first, saying that she deserves the championship shot. It was kind of embarrassing because no, she freaking doesn't. She's been on a losing streak pretty much for the majority since her return. And then Carmella came out saying that she deserves another shot, which also does not make sense. And then, of course, Liv Morgan came out, and then she came out to a nice pop, saying that, everyone's had their shot. What about me? And then there was a little brawl that happened. Then it eventually became a fatal 4-way elimination match, which Liv Morgan definitely showed what she's capable. She always shows what she's capable of. I'm really surprised where they're kind of giving her this push, but it's a slow drag. It's really weird what they're doing with her. It doesn't feel like it's like some type of developing type of drag, like how it is with what AEW is doing with Hangman Page, where you can see there is a story that's being told in this slow push that they're giving Hangman. Hangman is going to get the world title, but they're not just putting the rocket on him and just take him to the moon kind of thing. With Liv Morgan, she has a decent run. She disappears for a while, then she comes back, and it's just really, she puts on these great matches. She's capable in the ring. You can see that she respects the craft. She adores what wrestling is. And but yeah, it's been really hit and miss with her. But anyway, then first off, I believe it was Carmella that gets eliminated first. Then it was Vega. Then it became between Bianca Belair and Liv Morgan. In a way, I was hoping that Liv Morgan was going to win, but I knew deep down that it was going to be Bianca Belair. So they had good back and forth, great showing from both of them. So Bianca Belair won with the KOD. She is now the #1 contender to face Becky Lynch. Overall, that whole segment was really clunky. For the whole segment, didn't really feel like there was that much chemistry between them all. And then obviously, I think at the end, Bianca challenged Becky before the match happened, and then Becky just said no, not tonight. So it looks like it is true that they're gonna make her the top heel, which really begs me to question what is going on with Sasha Banks. There's still no word as to what's happening with Sasha Banks. But yeah, of course, we're not going to speculate. We'll just see what happens until the official word comes out. Next big segment really was obviously the return of Baron Corbin. Well, now he wants to be. Look, the rumors are true. He is now officially going to be called Happy Corbin. At first, when I heard about this Happy Corbin thing, I thought it was gonna be really corny, very cheesy. Like he's gonna be just go lucky type of thing. But he's still a heel. He's happy, obviously, because he's earned massively in Vegas, but it's the right type of Happy Corbin. This is pretty much the most memorable favorite time I've ever liked Baron Corbin. The Lone Wolf thing was great. Then obviously he became general manager. Then he became king, and yeah, it was just really, I hated those that between general manager and King Corbin. Absolutely hated him, and not for the right reasons. But yeah, obviously with the bum ass, broke ass Corbin, and now Happy Corbin, they're not doing so bad. So yeah, obviously he came out, had a little celebration. Then he called out Big E, saying, "You know what? I want your money in the bank briefcase. So yeah, let me offer you 25,000, 50,000, 100,000." And yeah, he just was obviously not having it. Look, I'm warning you, if you keep on asking, I'm gonna kick your ass. That Baron Corbin was just like, you know what? I'm too happy to even bother. I'm not gonna hurt you. Let me just get out. And then that was it. So it was cool. I'm liking so far. I'm liking what they're doing with Happy Corbin. Let's see, he could be the modern day $1 Million Man. Who knows? We'll see what happens. Another big moment that was, of course, Dominic and Rey Mysterio backstage before they came out. Rey Mysterio pretty much told his son, look, you know what, I think I'm holding you back. It's time for you to go and fly out on your own. I'll always still be there, but I think you need to obviously find your way to the promised land. God, that sounded very biblical right there, didn't it? but yeah, it was so he came out, he doesn't know who the opponent is, but I will still be in your corner kind of thing. So he came out, waited, and then it was Sami Zayn, and then had a good match. Had a great match. Then, of course, some shenanigans kind of happened where Rey Mysterio didn't really like that particularly. So he came back out, still was in Dominic's corner. But basically, Dominic lost. And yeah, it was... he eventually hit the 619, but obviously some madness happened. And then he got the haluva kick to the face. 1, 2, 3. And then Rey Mysterio came in, tried to console his son. And Dominic was just like, nah, don't touch me. I'm pissed. So it looks like there's starting to be some type of friction. I kind of wish that they kind of did this at SummerSlam. It's, you know, I was hoping there was going to be some type of tear. I'm fine with a father and a son bout. Dominic against Rey? Are you mad? Come on, that's going to be mad. Come on, I want to see heel Dominic. But the writing was on the wall at SummerSlam. They should have done the turn back then, in my opinion. But yeah, that's but this was cool. But yeah, Sami Zayn winning a match clean, no controversy, no cheating, crazy. And of course, the main event was the Roman Reigns celebration, family celebration. Now, the storytelling in this is fucking brilliant. I love what they're doing right now. Early in the show, Paul Heyman obviously was outside Roman Reigns' locker room. He was having a little back and forth with Caleb Braxton, as he always does. And then he was trying to open the door, and the door was locked. He was like, "What? Why can I not go in?" Was there for a good minute, and then out comes the Usos saying, like, you know, Reigns ain't here at the minute, but, you know, are you sure you didn't know that Lesnar was going to show up? Why did you send us in the back? All this kind of stuff. And then obviously Heyman was just like, I didn't send you in the back. It was the Tribal Chief that sent you in the back. Why would I manipulate what I have, what's going on with the Tribal Chief? This is what we have. And then the Usos weren't really buying it. So throughout the show, Reigns eventually came to the door and he was just like, what are you still doing out here? And then Paul Heyman, love his character work. It's so good. It was like he didn't know what to say, and he was like, "What? Are you gonna open up the door for me, boy? Like, come on, man! Open up the door." Then it went through, and then when it came to the family celebration in the main event, then obviously Heyman said, "You know what? This is a family celebration. I shouldn't be out there." And then Reigns said, "You know, what are you on about? You are family. I love you." And then you could tell that hit the feels of Heyman, so he came out. Spoke on his behalf, and then obviously saying, you know, you should acknowledge him, acknowledge the Usos, all this kind of stuff, all this spiel. And then Finn Balor comes out, and then obviously he says that he got cheated out of the match at SummerSlam, which he did. Obviously everyone's coming back. Lesnar's back, but he's not waiting in line. I want to challenge you for the Universal Championship next week on SmackDown. And then didn't really get an answer, so he like threw the microphone at him and started beating him down. And then obviously the Usos pretty much piled up on him. Then the Street Profits came out, so clearly there's gonna be a new feud now between the Usos and the Street Profits. Great, love it. So yeah, then the match pretty much ended with Finn Balor hitting the coup de grace and one of the Usos. No Brock Lesnar. I'm quite surprised at that. So soon, he's for some reason he's not coming back. There was no tease. There was nothing. I thought that he should have at least returned, like at least for this week's SmackDown. I know he's pretty much signed for 8 matches. So he signed. I think it's a 1-year contract. He signed up for 8 matches. I don't know what that means for I don't know what that means for the appearances front. But yeah, yes, that's what's going to happen. But yeah, really disappointed that Lesnar didn't show up, or just do something. But we'll see what happens. But like I said, overall, I give this show about 7.5. Yeah, it was solid. It was good. It was better than Raw, I must say. Much better than Raw. But yeah, we'll just have to wait and see what happens coming out from this. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, that is my thoughts on SmackDown. Awesome Kong. For those that are, a true wrestling fan, know who she is. She has now actually announced her retirement at NWA's latest pay-per-view EmPowerr that just happened last night. And yeah, she made a surprise appearance at the show. Obviously, Gail Kim was doing a promo, and then she was cutting a promo, and Taryn Terrell. Sorry, I was getting a name. It's a bit of a tongue twister for me. Taryn Terrell and Genocide and Paola Blaze was about to jump Gail Kim. Amazing Kong. Awesome Kong came out and pretty much saved Gail Kim, and then she grabbed the microphone, and this is according to F4W Online. She grabbed the microphone, told Gail Kim that she was her greatest foe, and there was no other way to end her career than being in the ring with Kim. She then announced that she was done. So yeah, it's surprising. I feel like she never really got a true run in AEW. I thought she was destined for stuff, but of course, due to other elements, she had to wrap stuff up. So yeah, she is a former NWA Women's Champion, 2-time Impact Knockouts Champion. She's wrestled in several promotions other than AEW, of course, WWE as Karma, Ring of Honor, Shimmer, and All Japan Women's Pro Wrestling. Yeah, it was very, very surprising. I thought she still had a bit more left in the tank, but she's had a great career. Obviously, everyone mainly remembers her time feuding with Gail Kim in TNA, and it was very memorable. I think that was the true start of a women's evolution before WWE jumped onto it. It definitely had put a lot of eyes on the product, mainly for them, and that was one of my favorite moments when watching TNA. But yeah, she's officially done. All the best to her. She's definitely putting that work. Yeah, she definitely left some memorable moments. I do feel that she had a bit more to prove, or something. Not really left to prove. Wrong choice of words. I felt she had unfinished business in WWE. Definitely the time was cut way shorter than what she anticipated, but it is what it is. She still had a great career regardless, and but yeah, all the best in your future, Awesome Kong. Braun Strowman, this guy is absolute mammoth of a man. So yeah, former Universal Champion Braun Strowman has pretty much made a big hint of where he may be going to, and also along with that, a new name. Obviously, he probably will not be called Braun Strowman when the reverie goes, and it doesn't look like it's going to be WWE. No, he's pretty much teased a return, well, not a return, but a debut at Impact Wrestling. Yes, Impact Wrestling. He's also tweeted as well. This is what he says on here. He says, "Remember in life, if you're gonna do something, make sure you have an impact. Carve your name in stone. #Titan." So there is rumors that his new name may be Titan. Earlier this week, Impact EVP Scott D'Amore, said on a Twitch clip that Impact is currently on the road to Brawn for Glory, indicating that the former WWE star could make his debut at the Bound for Glory pay-per-view in October. He also talked on the same stream that Buddy Murphy, now known as Buddy Matthews, is also bound for Impact. So as noted earlier, Strowman has agreed to wrestle in Qatar, Pro Wrestling Super Slam 3 show, which takes place on February 26, 2022, and then Strowman will travel to Qatar next month to sign an agreement. Strowman is presently serving his 90-day non-compete clause in the WWE and will become a free agent on Tuesday, August 31st. He was released by WWE early this year on June the 2nd. So, yeah, it's definitely rounding up. It still feels very fresh that he was let go, but yeah, the 90-day clause is coming up to a close. So this Tuesday he will be free to do whatever he wants. You do know that he's pretty much gonna be asked to do interviews and everything like that. Keep calling it TNA. Impact Wrestling. Put some respect on the name. Impact Wrestling is a good fit for Strowman. I don't think he would be perfect. He's the perfect WWE guy. He doesn't really fit AEW. They already got enough big guys as it is. They don't need Strowman. Impact is, it's about time they have some more recognizable names. They're very good at housing, indie names and coming up with their own. But in terms of big names, Braun Strowman will be a great fit for Impact. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. It's getting TV time. It's not like it's going to the indies or like bingo halls or anything like that. I think that's a good place for him. If it's not WWE, then I'll say that Impact Wrestling is good for him. What about you guys? What do you think? Do you think he will fit in well in Impact? What would you like him to see? What would you like him to do in Impact? And also, do you think AEW would have been a better call? Or do you think he's just pretty much just playing out WWE, nothing else? Let me know in the comments. Jim Ross, the voice of AEW, he's pretty much looking to delve into other positions in the company. So according to Ringside News, the AEW announcer will still sit behind the table for big matches and major events, but the word is he'll be working in other areas for the company. He's reportedly going to do more backstage segments like sit-down interviews with AEW stars. The report is noted that it was Ross's call on wanting to change up his responsibilities within AEW. So he has signed a 3-year deal back in April 2019. So obviously it's running up soon. So I'll just read the quote that he said back in May. He said that I hope that in the perfect world, I would like to stay working for Tony Khan and AEW and take it a year at a time. The contract I came in here was 3 years because that's what Tony Khan wanted. He wants stability. It made Time Warner happy because they're used to my work in their company for many years, and this WWE stuff as well. Once his contract expires in 2022, Ross said he would like to take it a year at a time. I would say I'll do this year and then reevaluate and see where we are health-wise, motivational-wise, and then if I come back, I'd like to come back for a year at a time. That way, it doesn't put Tony Khan in any unnecessary stress, because by the time my contract ends, I'll be 70. Wow, JR, 70 years old, crazy. It's amazing how much of an impact he's had on us, and he's pretty much been throughout for people around my age, or pretty much he's been part of our lives in wrestling for all our lives, pretty much. He's been the voice of all the major shows that we watch, makes sense. Why not delve into other things while you still can? People's thoughts of his commentating is very divisive, to say the least. He has some good moments. Has had a couple blunders. There's plenty of times he said WWE at an AEW event, but it's muscle memory. He's just, it's a force of habit. Look how long it's been with WWE. Of course, you're gonna kind of fumble. There's numerous times where I've been in a new company, where I worked at a new company, and I'm on the phone talking to an important business person, and I accidentally say my previous employer's name, or like, hello, you're speaking to this and this, when I'm not there anymore. You know what I mean? So yeah, I totally get that. This is the way things are. But yeah, I mean, for the most part, I enjoy commentating. He's always putting a good show regardless, and make the most of it while you still can. He's gonna be 70, so yeah, why not? All the best to him, really. Let's see where he probably might be going back into talent, because he's very good at finding talent. I mean, he's the one that found Brock Lesnar. You know what I mean? I think he's also the one that found Mark Henry. So he knows what he's doing for the most part. It might turn finally into a 2-man group in terms of the commentating booth. And also, let me know in the comments, what do you guys think of the 4-man booth on Rampage? Do you think it's a bit bloated? It's a bit too much? Me personally, I think it kind of is, but it doesn't feel like, you know, they're talking over each other, and it doesn't sound like messy or anything like that. Mark Henry doesn't really talk much, from what I remember, from what I can tell. Obviously, Excalibur does most of the talking, and when Jericho is on the commentating booth, then of course, you know, he does his thing. So, and Taz being Taz, he always has a great chemistry between him and Excalibur. So it's a fair amount of, it's a different dynamic for sure. But yeah, let me know in the comments if you think a 4-man booth is a bit too much. But yeah, other than that, guys, that has been Take It to the Table. And yeah, it's been very jam-packed, as I said. Let me know in the comments. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel as well. And of course, for all breaking news, debates, opinions, make sure you go and check out WrestlingRepublic.com. And also be sure to check out the Instagram at Wrestling Republic, and also follow me at official_TITTT. You will see it underneath here. So be sure to follow us, guys. This has been Take It to the Table, hosted by Wrestling Republic. And until next time, guys, peace.